This as a very frustrated union for ICE Border Patrol officials sent a letter to the White House saying the catch and release of illegals is now in overdrive. Thousands of illegals now being released en masse into the U.S. to make room for new border crossers, including a previously deported gang member with a long criminal history. He is now accused of viciously stabbing and beating to death a woman inside her home in San Jose, California, where the police are not allowed to cooperate with ICE. Let's bring in Arizona Congresswoman Debbie Lesko. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. You know, Congresswoman, thoughts and prayers don't cut it anymore. And that's not enough for victims' families like this one.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. This is a travesty, what happened to this woman by an illegal alien murdering an innocent woman. And this insanity has to stop. I support President Trump. There is an emergency at our border. There's thousands and thousands of people and families flooding over our border. I'm from Arizona. I've met with Secretary Nielsen just this week a couple times. This is an emergency. We need to stop it, and I support the president.
You know, Dan Coates, the director of national intelligence, and President Obama's DNI, James Clapper, said what is happening south of the border, to your point, is a national emergency. Do you think this will hurt the Republicans, senators that voted against the president here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to hurt the senators or not. Obviously, everyone has to vote their conscience. I know that you said Nancy Pelosi is going to put this up for a vote. I know that I'm going to support the President of the United States. I know that there is an emergency at the border. Our #1 job in the U.S. Congress is to protect the people in the United States, and this is exactly what the president is doing.
Okay, the Supreme Court ruled in 1993 the president does not have to return to Congress to reprogram or spend already appropriated money. The GAO backs him up on that. Here's the point. Presidents have declared national emergencies for Iran, for Nicaragua, for South Africa, for Libya, on and on. What's going on right at our own border is this. An annualized 1 million people expected to cross. 76,000 tried to cross illegally just last month. People dying from drugs pouring in. 10,000 children trafficked into the country. On and on and on. Your take on that?
Well, you're exactly right. And again, this is a national emergency, and other presidents have declared national emergencies in the past. This probably will be battled out in court. I think the president is going to win, and ultimately the nation is going to win. Part of the solution to securing the border at the southwest border is a fence. It's not the entire solution, and the president has never said that, but it's part of the solution. And unfortunately, Congress has not gotten its act together and changed immigration laws to slow down this flow of illegal immigration. So the president is doing what he has to do to protect the nation, and that's to declare a national emergency so that he can start building this border fence.
Here's why, yes. Congressman, final word. Here's why the border gang, the border officials, people, the men and women working to protect the border. Here's why they say a wall works. They say because it directs the flow of people toward ports of entry where that's guarded and where you can catch the problems at the ports of entry, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's common sense. I've talked to Secretary Nielsen. That's exactly what she has said. It's part of the solution. I asked her straight out if we have an emergency at the southern border, and she answered yes. And these are from herself, who is very versed in this, plus the boots on the ground, the agents on the ground who see this day in and day out. They know there's an emergency, and they're supportive of the president.
Congresswoman Debbie Lesko, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.